There's a whole lot of resin inside this Creature Caster box. We've got the exclusive unboxing video before it's even live on their site. I'm recording it right now. I'm not even allowed to show pictures of the new King of Ruin from Creature Caster. Like I said, it is their most ambitious miniature yet, and I use the term miniature very, very loosely. This thing dwarfs a lot of existing models that you're going to see here in a second as we compare it to some other more boutique miniatures from those makers in Nottingham, and get your opinion and show you exactly how they scale up detail and size wise to some of those miniatures out there. Now, I'm not allowed to show pictures currently on the internet as I'm recording this, but we are definitely allowed to show you how you can order from their site. It's very easy, whether in the Canada, UK, or the US. Getting stuff from Creature Casters, actually very, very easy. CreatureCaster.com is your source to scoop up all of the sweet resin creations from them, whether you live in Canada, UK, or American land. They got you covered with currency conversions in your own rate, site in your own rate. Now, it takes a little bit longer to go live with new products when they kick it over to the UK, so I think that's kind of what we're waiting on right now. We did a review on the King of War, which we're actually going to show you in comparison to the King of Ruin here. That's just to show you kind of the scale as they're, taking all of these new sculpts up to the next level. But I can show you this guy, the King of War, $109 US. He's been out for a couple of months now. We previewed him as soon as he came out. One of my top 5 miniatures of all time. And wait till I show you this King of Ruin. So now that that's all said and done, let's take a look at the King of Ruin himself. Here he is. Comes with a little custom life counter there. There's a spoiler alert to what he's gonna look like. Of course, at this point, you've probably already seen some of the pictures out there. I like this because you can put a little magnet in here, or it turns out Canadian money's magnetic, believe it or not. So you only have to put, if you live in Canada land, you can just put a dime in there and then a small magnet in here, and it'll be able to keep track of whatever you need, like life wounds or anything like that, right in here. And you can flip it around. It goes to 10 on this side, or you can start out up to 20 on this side to kind of keep track of things. And there's nice little notching and everything. It's very well done. It's kind of cool because it's the same bottom, and all they ever have to do is resculpt the top whenever they're making a new miniature. So maybe they get the inspiration from sculpting this, and they're like, all right, boom, got it. And now they just go into, sculpting the whole miniature. I don't know. That's just me talking out loud. Now, this is pretty cool too. Now I know why these bags are out of stock with the person I buy them from, because this is, if you're on our Patreon page, you get these in the mail every month from us in these nice little black baggies. Nice little out-of-boxing experience, and I went to buy some this month, and they're out of stock. Now I know why. to house all of the Kings of Ruin. So we're gonna open this up, and believe me, this is good quality bubble right here. This is what we send out all our shipments in. So I didn't even tell them about this. They must have found it on their own. So here's all the pieces in this bad boy right here. Wow, that is chunky. That's a chunky monkey. That is, in case you don't know already, a chunky Nurgle monkey. I don't even know which way is up. Oh, there we go. There's the up. Okay, so there's the up. Obviously, there's a lot going on here. I don't even know where to start, but let's get all this stuff separated and start showcasing it out for you. Okay, well, if I wasn't before, I'm definitely a believer now. This thing is gigantic. Separating it all out, trying to get all of the parts kind of in the appropriate order. And I haven't even seen a picture of this yet. I just know approximately what some of the parts look like and what they go where. It looks like we've got 2 different arm options here for the model's right arm, if you were looking at straight on and be the left. So there's a ginormous plague sword, some sort of plague flail that looks, and one of these studs, no, I thought one of those studs was flat. Okay, so there's a plague flail in the right arm, model's left arm. Your right arm, if you're looking at this straight on, it looks to be holding some sort of guts or intestines with it kind of draped down, perhaps. And there's some sort of crazy Nurgle, I don't know, tapeworms or something, dune worms. I don't know what's going on there. Lots and lots of antlers, so maybe some stuff coming off the back of the body, and also I would imagine maybe these right here are the head itself. Not exactly sure yet, but there's lots of holes back here, so they got to correspond to something that we're about to find out. Tabard and a single little horn here, maybe for a shoulder pad. Yep, probably for a shoulder pad right here. Okay, cool. And then we got two different variant heads, which we showed you on the little life counter, turn counter thing right here. Little feet, not moving fast, because that's not what Nurgle does. But I mean, just to give you a size of the girth right off the bat, these two parts go together. We got to clip all this down right here. But right off the bat, this thing is already looking to be a sizable miniature, both in width and girth. And I mean, this is kind of ambitious for them too, and I'm sure when we get it put together, we'll see a lot more of it. You don't really see a lot of armor and such. It's been, a lot of their miniatures have been more organic, and this is the first one where it's got a lot more detail, like leather, skulls, bone detail. Look at all these straps, all these little harnesses and eyelets and things like that, trim. So it makes it a lot easier. It breaks it up and allows you to sectionalize it and really kind of jam out when you're painting this stuff. So this in the King of War, I could see would be a lot more appealing for all levels of painters and hobbyists out there, whereas maybe just a straight organic one's a little, maybe a little bit more daunting, perhaps. So this one definitely seems to be a little bit more inviting to the paint itself, and it looks to be pretty fun to put together too. So perhaps you can magnetize these for the arms, I'm thinking. And it looks to be little studs for the heads that you could put small magnets in there. I feel like you just choose a head though and just kind of glue it in. There's no sense swapping it out unless you're trying to do a specific thing with a specific, like, you know, special character, perhaps. Hint, hint. When it comes to big jovial green things that aren't from Marvel. So let's take, oh, and I really like this base. This base, it's kind of your typical creature caster base, but very large. Obviously, this is probably, if I had a spitball, I would say this is a 100 mil base, 100 mil round for sure. I'm just looking at if I got anything close that I can reference, and I do not. But the cool thing is, it's got a lot of kind of like magma, flattened magma rock. Maybe that's slate, but look at all these maggots all over this place. So you can paint it with the rock, then you can kind of hit it, you know, with like a little bit of base coat, maybe, and then just give it a dirty, nasty wash, and it'll really pick out a lot of these little maggots that are like literally everywhere. It'd be pretty easy to do. You don't have to highlight each one of those. There's definitely some techniques. I think actually Kenny over on Next Level Painting just did a tutorial on painting Nurgle bases, Nurgle theme bases, and his technique actually would come in quite handy for this one, to say the least. So overall, I'm liking the detail work, all the stitching, all the braiding, the ropes, the twine, everything like that. Just the fact that it has so much to break up just the large organic surfaces. This will look dope with a bunch of crazy rot, corrosion effects, sponged on oil, and I mean, you can really go all sorts of places here. Not a whole lot of bone detail, it doesn't look like. I mean, besides the stuff sticking out the top that's easily workable with a little bit of you know, airbrushing and stuff like that. But I feel like this is definitely a much more inviting model. It does have a lot of detail work, but you can kind of sectionalize it and just jam out on certain sections at a time and really break it up and kind of have some fun with it. So let's break it down, get this bad boy together, get all of the little keyhole or sprue lines and gates and things clipped off of here, and see how easy it is to get assembled here. So here he is in all of his dark magnificence. This is the King of Ruin, a very, very ambitious miniature from Creature Caster. Wow, what an incredible pose, what incredible options. The size of this guy is just I don't even know where to start. It's incredible. This miniature, I keep saying miniature, this model, because it's not miniature, it's great. There's a lot of options for it. Obviously, there's 2 different heads. We assembled, got both the heads together here. This one is actually just held in place with blue tack, but you can go with the super crazy, creepy head or the jovial yet somewhat inspired by, I don't know, Spawn's clown or something like that. It definitely looks very Spawn clowny. I like it, so I went with that head. This big ass cleaver, definitely very cool. Went with that one. Did put this together, and it, when you attach it, it looks like it just kind of, you know, balances on the base right there. But I mean, overall, like I was saying, incredible detail work. There's all sorts of areas where you can break things up, like you can do the armor plating a different color, the skin, all sorts of leather straps, twines, bones, all sorts of grisly trophies, eyelets, intestines falling out. There's some sort of beak coming out of here, holding intestines with like a crazy tapeworm, something I imagine the Gathering or Dune, I suppose. It's just incredible stuff here. Now, I patched some of this with a little bit of plastic putty from Vallejo. You can see on the antlers right there. There was a little bit of gapping up there, and I just gotta kind of re-scrape that a little bit. And there are a few gaps on here, but I don't think these are gonna take away from anything. And this is just the putty just kind of not, or the poster tag just kind of not sticking up on there. But overall, I really like the trim work here. I mean, there's so much trim, just kind of everywhere, just out there for you to work on. That big spike coming out of there, and the creepy like no eyes, the creepy Nurgle kind of no eyes is very apropos, and definitely has adds to the overall creep factor of this whole miniature. Now, I'm not thinking, but I might put a little bit of gap filler back here. I don't think it's going to take away from anything, but I may hit it with a little bit of gap filler. I feel like, you know, your washes and everything are just kind of going to flow along, and you're just going to have darkened recesses of skin here, so it's not really going to matter. And all of these antlers and stuff along the back, it's just crazy. Like, look at the profile of this guy. Just amazing work. Pitting, poxes, little bulbuses, like I don't even know what all the technical term. I didn't go to Nurgle Tech. I don't know this stuff, but man, just incredible work. Even the twine, even the braiding on the horns right there is incredible. Now, we're going to compare it to a miniature that you guys probably know, probably near and dear to a lot of you out there. This in my left hand, with a cat hair, is Lord Scabathrax, the greater demon of Nurgle from Forge World. And you can see here that the King of Ruin is definitely the King of Ruin. He dwarfs this little guy. And of course, that means the plastic Great Unclean One is also going to be roughly the same size. It's going to be close. Oh, there goes my blue tack. It's going to be roughly the same size, if not bigger. I imagine the King of Ruin is going to be bigger overall, but I don't have one to compare it to, unfortunately. But we do have, if you picked up the King of War, this guy right here, definitely gives you an idea of the comparison, the correct proportions, in my opinion, between the two, both of them on 100mm bases right there. So this guy definitely looking fresh next to his brother on the side of things. And then of course, well, we've got normal miniatures. So there's the baby berserker, little Carney. You can kind of see, oh, look at him, so cute. You can snatch him up in his hand and shake him like a rattle. And just a normal Space Marine, just to give you an idea right there. If you're a fan of the Age of Sigmars, we've got some Age of Sigmars for you. There's a Stormcast Duder. So this guy will definitely fit in. Of course, the round base will definitely fit in to any Age of Sigmar games. And say you even want to use them as a crazy renegade warlord titan, I suppose you could. Why not? Well, then he definitely is about that size for Titanicus as well. So if you want to get even crazier with the Cheese Whiz, then you definitely have the opportunity right there. So overall, yet another incredible miniature from now the new Kings line from creaturecaster.com. I can't wait to see the next two, because you know there's going to be two. Creaturecaster, we figured you out. We know there's going to be 2 more of these. I can gather what they may or may not look like in a couple of paragraphs, but we don't need that. We're definitely eagerly anticipating the next ones coming out. Hopefully this holiday. I would hope maybe we'll see some more goodness on the King side of things right there. So make sure you run over to creaturecaster.com. Of course, we will have the full pricing info, the full links to the product in the comments below, because like I said, not even on their site. I just showed you their site. Not even available yet. We're getting ahead of the curve on this one. I hope you enjoy our exclusive unbox and build of the new King of Ruin by Creaturecaster Miniatures. Go check them out. A great bunch of folks. You can meet them at Adepticon hopefully next year as well. They're making the convention circuit, so support all these great indie game companies out there, especially Creaturecaster.com.